Hi guys, my name is Robin and today I'm bringing you my pointless TBR game. So this TBR game is based on the British TV show Pointless, which is a trivia show in which you get asked questions that have multiple answers, but that question has been asked to 100 people before the show, and whoever got all of the answers, they count as like 1 point for each of them. So say one answer could have gotten 50 points because 50 people answered that correctly. Another answer could only have 3, or it could have 0 and be pointless. So with this in mind, because I love the show, I decided to base my TBR game around it. So with that in mind, I made up a bunch of questions that relate to books that could have any number of answers from my bookshelves, and I've got the point system going from how many ratings it has on Goodreads. So say if it has 5,000 ratings, then it gets 5 points, so 1 point for every 1,000 ratings, and that goes all the way up to 100. And if it goes and exceeds more than 100, so more than 100,000, then it just gets 100. So each month I'm going to have 5 questions that I have to answer to, and I have 200 points in which to answer all those 5 questions. If I exceed that 200, then I have to pick another book, so I get another question. If I get any questions wrong, so I pick a book that actually doesn't fit the prompt, then I have to add on another book, and I get an instant 100, which then adds towards that 200 total for the month. If I get any additional books, so any from wrong answers or from going over 200, I do those at the end, and they still have a point amount, but it doesn't add towards the 200, and if I get any of those wrong, then another book gets added on, but if it goes over 200, then it doesn't really matter. But we'll have to see how it goes since I haven't played it yet, but let's get into it. So I have my little stack of pointless cards, so it says pointless, and they just have prompts on them. I'll shuffle these again actually, and start by picking one. Right, first one. So this one is a book with black on the cover. So I have a lot of black books, so many black books. So for this prompt, I've chosen City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, which I actually thought might be a little lower than it is. But it actually has 41,988 reviews, so that gives me 42 points so far. So I chose this book just because a lot of people have been reading it lately and it sounds really interesting. I also have the audiobook for it on script, which is the way that I'm going to be reading it since I don't have a physical copy and all the libraries are closed. But I'm really excited to get into it and hopefully I will love it. I usually listen to my audiobooks just before I go to bed, so I'm going to start with that one tonight. Alright, so the next prompt is a book with magic. So I do read mainly fantasy, so I do have a lot of books with magic in it, but I'm going to have to pick a lower one. So for this prompt, I have chosen The Golden Tower by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. And this book gets 8,566 ratings on Goodreads, so that gives me 9 points. This book is the 5th and final book in the Magisterium series, and this one includes a magic school. And lots of magic in it. Okay, on to the third prompt, and this one is a book with blue on the cover. So again, I have a lot of blue books. If you watch my bookshelf tour, you'll know how many blue books I have. It's like 3 whole shelves, at least, of blue books. So for this prompt, I've chosen One Giant Leap by Heather Kaczynski, and this actually only has 314 ratings on Goodreads, which means because it's less than 500 it gets rounded down and becomes pointless. So I get 0 points for this one, which is great because now I feel like I could pick a really popular one for the next ones maybe. But this book is the second book in a duology. It's science fiction set, the first book at least, is set at a training kind of camp for teenagers who want to get onto this first mission to go into space. The second book I think is set after those events, so when they're in space, but we'll have to see. So with the first 3 questions, we're actually on 51. So I have 149 left. So let's pick the next one. So the next prompt is a retelling. I don't know if I have that many retellings, but we'll have to find one. So for retelling, I chose Fables Volume 9, Sons of the Empire, which gets 17,578 ratings on Goodreads, so that is 18 points to me. So this is a series of fairy tale retellings, so you have like Snow White, Rapunzel, all the fable fairy tale characters you can think of are in this series. And I've been meaning to continue on with it for quite a while, so why not now? Alright, so I have 69 points now, and 1 book left to go. So unless I get it wrong, I'm only going to have the 1 book. Alright, so the last prompt is a book with king in the title. And as I said before, I have a lot of fantasy, so I do have quite a few with king in the title. Alright, and so for the last one, I have chosen The Wicked King by Holly Black. And this book gets a lot of points. So it has 127,761 ratings. So that's an instant 100, but that's okay because I'd got some points left to spare. So this book is the second book in the Folk of the Air series. I've been meaning to read this one for a very long time as well. I read the first one when it came out, which was years and years ago now. And the series is actually finished as well, so if I read this one, then I might be able to read the next one and finish up the series this year. So for this month, this is the stack that I will have to read, which got me 169 points in total, so this including City of Brass, which is pretty good. I think I was lucky enough to get this one, which was 0, which is nice because otherwise I may have been over. But I think because we've got only 3 weeks left, because I'm putting this one up late, that this is achievable. I think so. But we'll wait and see. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.